We will talk a little bit today about awareness. So, what I'd like to go through is well, the first thing is I'm not sure if people know Earl Schwab. Earl Schwab was Jim Rohn's mentor. And of course, I have heard also Bob Proctor talk about, and Bob Proctor was mentored by Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale was mentored by Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill was mentored by Andrew Carnegie. So right there is almost 150 years of success in itself. The principles to success. But basically, what Earl talked about and Bob over time was, you reap what you sow. And I suppose it's not something that is normally said a lot these days, but it is true because we do reap what we sow. We develop relationships, we develop our connections with people, but we've got to develop the right connections. And of course, we've got to develop the right relationships. Otherwise, they don't work or we can't do business. But it's almost like if you were sowing an apple, and this gets into it a little bit deeper. When you talk about, sowing the seed, as it were, you've got to remember if you want to sow a seed, say for an apple, you will get apples, of course. But the difference is do you want red apples or green apples? And that's where or what you have to look at. Because if you are sowing to reap what you want to receive, well, then you've got to make sure that you sow in the correct context. And again, that's why we talk about the red apples or the green apples. Because if you sow a seed for a red apple and you get red apples, but you didn't want red apples, well, then that's no good. So you've got to remember what it is that you sow, or you reap what you sow. Another example would be, and this is how the mind works, when you talk about, say you wanted to go after a goal like a particular car, and say it was a red Mercedes. Well, what do you find when you start to talk about a red Mercedes? Or what do you find when you start to concentrate on a red Mercedes? You'll find that you start to see red Mercedes. So you'll find that, when you walk out, you'll start to see them, you'll start to become more aware of a red Mercedes. So why is that? Well, that's because your mind has been drawn to it. You have now become aware of it, you've brought your attention to it, and now you start to see it. So, why can't we do this for everything else? We don't utilize our mind in the correct context that we should. Because when you talk about a red Mercedes and you start to see a red Mercedes, well then, why can't we do the same when it comes to our goals? Why can't we do the same when it comes to our lives? Well, I suppose the reason being is because we get caught in our habitual state. We don't allow the awareness to continue, or it's almost like we're in the wrong vibration of what it is we're going after, or the wrong frequency of what we're going after. Because when you're in the wrong frequency, nothing happens. But when you're in the right frequency and on the same level of what you're chasing, well, then you start to see the results and you start to be attracted to what it is that you're going after. The same as what we just said about the car or the apples. You're sowing the seed of what you want and what you want to achieve. So you've got to remember that it is about being negative or positive, because when you see, well, like what's say in the newspaper or what you hear on the news, there's a lot of negativity in that. And as a result of that, sometimes you can find that you listen to it a lot and you become maybe a negative person as a result of that. Why? Because it's been impressed upon your subconscious mind on a regular basis and it becomes part of the paradigm. So you become used to it. It becomes part of the habitual state or the habitual behavior or the habitual thought of behavior. So what do you do to change that? Well, I suppose you start on the positive side and you start to listen or attract or hang around with or be part of something that is more positive or something that can help you get to where you want. As I said, being on the same frequency will almost certainly help you get there. And of course, then the mind is drawn to it. So therefore, it starts to attract you to it. So it is all about what it is you want. When you look at what you want or what you need, you will find that when you focus on what you want, you will get better results by simply applying like what we've just spoke about when we talked about the apples and sowing the seed. And we talked about, when you look at something like a car, you start to see it more. So just become more aware of what it is that you want and start to focus more on that and become on the same frequency as it, and you will start to attract what you want. So again, if you agree, please let me know. If you don't, let me know also. But also, I'd love you to share some things that maybe you have been attracted to before, or maybe something that you have wanted before, but it simply hasn't come to pass. You haven't spent enough time on it and it didn't come to pass, or maybe you just got fed up or bored of not having or being able to let it be attracted to you. So again, please do comment below and let me know your thoughts.